the story of the tree, the strongest tree. We have a story about the tree. But what we want to make certain is that when we have the science behind it, that at the same time we're succeeding to bring into that same science the emotions. But then there's a third element we want to bring in, it's what we call the connections. The children's brains are so fast, they're connecting rapidly. They're seeing things no one can see. It's Alice in Wonderland, you know, everything is just connected so fast. And it's so exciting when they can let their thoughts go. And this is what I've tried to capture, for example, in the story of the tree, the strongest tree. A tree in the forest is asking, how can I be the strongest tree in the whole forest? And this tree is kind of tinkering and says, well, the more leaves I would have, the more leaves would drop. The more leaves I would have, the more sun I could capture. The more sun I capture, the more energy I have. But the more leaves will drop, and the more leaves will drop, the more earthworms, the more bacteria, the more ants, the more fungus will convert all my leaves into humus, and the humus will get to me, and then I will have more nutrients, and as I have more nutrients, I will be able to put up many more flowers, and if I have more flowers, there will be more bees, and if there are more bees, then there will be more pollen, and then actually when there are more bees, then there will be more birds, and if there are more birds, then there will be more droppings, and if there are more droppings, then I will get all those nutrients from the droppings nicely into my roots because of the rain that will dissolve it. And so if I have more leaves, I could become the strongest tree in the whole forest. But imagine the tree doesn't work with everyone to do this. The tree knows that in order to be the strongest, it has to work with the bees, the fungus, it has to work with everyone around. But the tree actually doesn't like the earthworm. It doesn't like the earthworm. Why doesn't it like the earthworm? Well, it doesn't want to confess it. It doesn't like the earthworm because it doesn't know what is head or tail. But a tree should realize that if it uses its power and chases all the earthworms away because it doesn't like it, it will never ever be the strongest tree. Now this is connections. Now, you have not gone through it, but in the fable there are 40 connections in one story. Now, can you imagine what goes to the brain of the child? Try to make a child remember 40 connections in a row. Forget it, it doesn't work. The children remember this story because it connects, it makes sense. Now, we've never taught them about chemistry or biology, never anything, but they know exactly how it works. And the same story I can tell again with the enzymes and the amino acids and the proteins. And I can talk about the lipids, and I can include so much more, which is not in the story. But if you feel your kids are ready, add it in. It's like a cake. You add a sauce, you add a cherry, you keep on adding, and people eat more. You keep on eating more. But what is very important in these stories is that we need to include the ethics. This story is about inclusion. This story is not about the strongest. It's about respecting the ones you don't like. And understanding yourself why you don't like it. Because most of the time when children don't like the other child, it's because something they don't understand. It has nothing to do with anything scientific. And we need to get over that opportunity. And therefore we need to use the arts. Because logic doesn't always work. And the beauty of it is when we get into the ethics, though, very often you cannot use the regular language. And that is where the arts come in. You know, for every single fable I have music to sing, sing-along songs. For every fable I have dance. Children can dance every fable. And we may not go as far as doing the dancing together. But I think it's important that you know that dance is so critical in learning. We have this incredible body that when we're 2 and 3 years old, that body is so flexible and is so easy to do. And then we put kids on a chair. And then within a year, their body just goes. And then we have to do PE, physical exercises. Because we got to stretch that body a little bit. And it never works again. The way we're sitting is just so unnatural that it is normal the body just cranks together. So therefore, for me, I have been so grateful to a team that I was able to work with in the United States. And they helped me understand how we can use the dance to teach the science. Now, we have proven that with 7 public schools in Massachusetts, United States, that we can teach science to kids through dance, and the kids then teach the parents. We've done the exercise where we took a theme called hydrophobic and hydrophilic. I wish you good luck to teach that, because the poor teacher has to start with a definition. And when the word definition comes up, the kids close the page and say, we got to learn that by heart and forget it. So, when the children dance hydrophobicity and hydrophilicity, when to repel each other and to attract each other, that you can teach kids dancing. Appealing, and no, that's fun. That's actually what dance is all about. But once they know that concept, and even that strange word stays with them forever. The children learn words through dance, but we are not imposing the choreography on them. What we have done through our programs in Latin America is that we teach the 16 basic dances of the world. Merengue, salsa, tango, waltz. Just teach them how to dance, and that basically is a series of steps and body movements. And of course we have to teach them hip-hop. No, we don't have to teach them, they know that. They teach us how to do hip-hop. So when they know how to do all these movements, then we say, now you are going to show how water phobicity works. And then the kids say, oh yeah, I have this dance, and I have this dance, and I can do so. And they get moving. And then they look at each other and they see how each one is moving. And before you know it, they've agreed on a movement and another movement. And they self-create their dances. Every time we do it, it's a different dance. And the competition is not about who dances best. The competition about who can explain hydrophobicity and hydrophilicity without saying a word. Now, talking about challenges kids love. Don't say a word and make it clear to your dad what this all means. And it's amazing how they do it. When we are a child, our physiology permits us to say everything in any language, and we lose it. What a pity that we lose it. But we can regain it through dance. And how great when children can talk to each other. They don't know the words, but they can dance it. They can communicate with each other, not with a sign language. It is not a sign language, it's your whole body that talks. Every story has a minimum of 12 arguments. Argument, counter-argument, information, additional information. Now, you know master chess players? A master chess player, a grandmaster, can foresee when you make a move 8 to 9 steps. Every child in every fable does 12. Without knowing it, we're training the brain to see the next arguments. I started in the year 2000 in Brazil, in the city of Curitiba. Today, the city of Curitiba is the leading city in chess in Brazil. You train children to think. And they don't play mahjong, otherwise they would do mahjong. But capacity to be strategic in society, to be strategic in life, is to get impulses and be able to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your mind is continuously evolving, scanning, moving, not tiring you out. It is just keeping you on the tip of your toes and enjoying life. Because you see so many opportunities, and sometimes risks, but you see the options evolving before you. Now that is why we need to bring connections, the capacity to make connections to the child's mind. Because when you have the difficulty to argue with your engineers that rice straw is an option to make paper, it's because you only do 1, 2 arguments. But when we would know 1, 2 arguments and you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you actually do what the military would call encircling the enemy. You just go all around it with logic, with arguments, with science, with arts, with emotions. Why not? Emotions are important. If my voice had no emotions, you would laugh. So we need to bring in the emotion. We need to bring in that passion. If we don't communicate with passion, germs are contagious, but passion is also very contagious. And I rather have the contagious effect of passion than of viruses. If we could put the same energy behind passion as we did with SARS, we would see a whole society moving forward. But somehow we're too much on the defensive. So what we're trying to do with this thinking is to create this world of science, emotions, arts, connections. To do what? To have fun? Well, that's a great idea. Why not? Having fun is not wrong in life. But the whole objective is to develop a 5th dimension, what I like to call do it. Make it happen. For the children, there is nothing more fun than make it happen. To do it.